Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here. Welcome to another Artery Gear video. So with the raid coming to global server in less than 3 days on Tuesday, I'm going to release a series of guide for the raid as well as team compositions later on to allow players to get the highest ranking reward they can and hopefully snatch all those goodies. So let's go over to arterygear.info. So again, if you haven't found this post already, arterygear.info has updated the raid guide. It's called the Ultimate Arena. I think that is going to be the global name for it. And of course, you can check out the overview, the rewards, the boss guide, and everything else. There's also an updated tier list rating as well for some of the recommended units. Okay, so I will be showcasing the stuff on my JP account since I have raid available to show you guys. So let's open that up. So this is the raid interface. There are a few things that you should know right off the bat. Of course, everything will be translated. So you can see that every boss will have their unique abilities. So everything will be translated once the game is live. It'll show the duration. This is the season duration. And this is the time where the boss will change color. It's pretty much the same boss, but different elements. So right now on JP, it's green. The first boss that will get on release should be red, and it'll last, I think, 5 to 7 days. I do forget how many days, but it will change color after that. And you can see this is the level. So level matters in terms of how many teams you can bring. Every time you level up your, I guess, boss challenge level or raid level, you can bring more teams, and that affects your score as well. So initially when you're playing the game, you can see the leaderboard. Don't worry so much about the leaderboard because you can see here there is the challenge attempts. So you can store attempts up to 5. So basically you just have to do raid once every 5 days and to use the attempt. So leaderboard on first 4 days may not be accurate as people trying to test out their team composition. So you can see when the next extra attempt will be added. And of course, if you're at 5, this will not be added, so you'll be capped. A few more things. You can see that there are 3 buttons down here. You can see the first button is essentially the ranking. You can see how people are ranking, how people are ranked right now. And this is, I think, the last season's ranking, I believe, or something like that. So you can see that this is score, and you can also check out this week's high score teams, right? So you can figure out what people are using. I think this is per hit. So per hit, and then you can figure out, if you can copy it or not. You won't be able to see the gears, unfortunately, but at least you can see the team composition. And of course, you can see the preseason, the last season's highest score as well. Okay, and then this is going to be showing teams from the last season. So blue. So those are some of the blue teams that we'll be able to replicate from. So that's the team part, and then looking at the score part. So this is what I think will matter for most people. So each time you complete a single attempt, you get 20 of these half stamina tickets, 1 of these red books, 1 of these unique equipment materials, and then 3 of the energy, and then 20 of the guild currency. And then based on your points for the challenge, you get those goodie bags. So you can see that ideally, I think for the first time players, you want to reach the 150,000 mark, so A and B ranking. So as long as you reach 80,000, actually, you can get a B ranking. And in the B ranking, you'll be able to get 6-star gears, which is really, really fantastic in my opinion. Some of those gears will have golden substats too. So I've received usable gear actually from raid. And of course, everything else looks good. You got your tickets as well. Of course, stamina is always welcome. And then the next point is if you get the this is what the SS or S ranking, or rather S ranking, 240,000 plus, then you'll be able to get these. So pretty much the same drop, but I think you just get 1 extra and also better drop rate. And of course, if you can get this 480,000, that's the SSS ranking. I think it'll be a bit difficult for first time raid season for people to get this score, but we'll see. But again, it's pretty much the same drop pool, but you're just gonna have higher drop chance. And of course, frames are always very nice. So for the majority of players, my guide will be geared towards to how you can secure 80,000 points, I think, which is going to be, in my opinion, very important. And then, of course, I'll be pushing for at least 240,000 on the raid. I'm not a super good raid player, I would say. So I do have information from the old CN number 2 raid player who used to pass me information, but it's actually very challenging when you're doing raid, and I'll show you part of the reason why. So let's continue with the guide. So this is essentially personal score. As you can see, your personal score, but I haven't done any raids, so I can't see anything. So once you are ready to fight, you go into the preparation menu. So one thing to note is that you can bring multiple teams, and these teams all enter at the same time, which means that unfortunately you'll have to have gears for your teams. So you won't be able to, use one team, swap the gears out, and use another team. They basically go in all at the same time. And then the most important thing in getting a high score, even if you're not geared, is maybe have 1 or 2 teams geared, and the rest, make sure you fill these requirements to get the bonus multiplier. So that is what you need to do 100%, is to get 2 out of 2 at least for each class, and then use as many red units as possible, right? So your first team or your second team may be your cores, and then the rest just try to fill these criteria, because the rest of the team, they're not going to do much for you, but you want the multiplier as high as possible. So 2 units of each class, and then as many red will get you those points. So if I were to, let's say, remove a red that is satisfying this requirement, so you can see that the multiplier instantly dropped to 86% versus 160%. Okay, so that's what's important. And of course, you can see your gears in this menu, so you can see who is not geared and who's geared. And of course, there's also auto teams that kind of really messes you up. I wish I didn't do that. But yeah, okay, good, it didn't save. So one thing I wanted to show you guys is that you can reset your run. So this is what I mean by raid. It can be very, very, very time consuming. You can spend an entire day fishing for the high score if you want. So in the initial panel, you saw that I had 5 out of 5 attempts. So what I can do is, let's say an RNG went wrong, I can challenge again. It's not going to consume an attempt at all. Let's say on the second team I got crit by the boss, or I didn't land my defense down, I can always reset and challenge again, and it's not going to consume any attempts. Okay, and then let's say I need to go, or this run is just, I'm tired of doing this run, so I can just quit. And it will say that you failed, but if you quit, it actually does not consume an attempt. So you'll see I'm still at 5 out of 5. So you can exit, retry. It's not going to consume an attempt. You can keep going until you get your high score. And then once you get your high score, you can sweep. So let me just show you really quick. Actually, we'll just use an auto team. Let's just do this. So I'll just show you really quickly how to sweep. And actually, I need to most likely remove my units, because it's going to turn into a full-fledged run if I don't. So again, let's quit. Let's say I brought in the wrong team, or I realized one of my characters is not geared. It's going to not cost a single attempt. And I'm going to bring in just a single unit. Oops. And I'll show you, yeah, it should be 5 out of 5 here. Yes, and I'm just going to bring in a single unit so I can show you the sweep function. Let's do, and let's just do that. Okay. And don't worry, guys, I'll have team compositions for you guys, especially for those that maybe only have the gear to gear one team. I'll have the team composition for that, so that hopefully you guys can reach at least the B rank. Okay, so let's say this run finished, and it's really bad. I got E, but you can see that each participation gives me all these rewards. It doesn't matter what I score. And let's take a look at the goodie bag. So this is the goodie bag you get after every run, and you can see, hey, not bad, huh? Those 2 stamina pots will be 3 of them. On the B score, I think 3 or 4. So there's 6 stamina pots right there, and fodder is always good to have. Okay, so once now that the score is done, you can see here it's going to consume one of my attempts, And then if I do a sweep, it brings up the sweep function. So it's going to based on your highest score. Okay, it's 382, which is the run I just did, and you can sweep using the blueprint, which you'll get plenty of from the Rise event, and then it's going to cost stamina, of course. So it's going to do the sweep, and you get every single reward, and including the tickets, the red prints, and everything like that. And if you just do sweep, that's essentially done. You'll get to see what you get. And at the end, this is what we got, right? So this is ×3 if you're in the B bracket, so 30 stamina pots, a bunch of goodies, and this should be a 6-star if you reach the B ranking. So overall, I think quite nice. Raid, you can take it as seriously as you want or as chill as you want. Initially, I don't really recommend sweeping because you want to do manual to push your raid level up a bit more. But yeah, that's the quick breakdown to raid introduction. I'll have more in-depth information as we approach the raid release time, starting with specific team comps and whatnot. So anyhow, it's TimaeuSS here. If you need more information, of course, subscribe to the channel and I'll release more information. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.